What's up, everybody? We are here for a very special changelog. I'm here with Adam Stack. What's up, Adam?
Stack. That's me.
How you doing, man?
It's a good day.
It's a good day.
It's a good day. It's
So
one day.
not your typical show.
No.
This is a bit of an announcement show.
Yes.
So Adam has a pretty big announcement that we'd like to share with y'all. Adam, go ahead and let him have it.
Let them have it. All right. Well, for a long time, if you've been listening to the show, I guess since 2009 we started the show, and it's had its adventures, I guess. You know, we've had lots of different nuances of the changelog, and so it's morphed over time, but it's always been a side project. It's always been something that we've been working towards. It's just been, you know, if we do it, we do it, and we have fun at it. And over this last 2 years, started to build it in a way where we can actually make it sustainable. And I'm happy to announce that it's reached the sustainability for me to go full time, which is a huge, huge deal. So I'll be the first official employee of this company, and pretty excited, man. Pretty excited.
So as of today, you
Monday.
are Monday, February 9th,
February 9th.
2015.
I'm
Adam
self-employed
is
again.
self-employed, changelogging it, man.
Changelogging it, you know, and it was a tough call too. I mean, just a little shout out to Pure Charity too on that note, because some of you have heard me talk about my work there at a nonprofit called Pure Charity. Still a great nonprofit. Still love all those people there. It was just time for me to step away and do the changelog full time. So nothing against whatsoever Pure Charity, what they're doing, because their hearts are pure and what they're doing. No pun intended, of course. Pure hearts. Doing great work there. So that continues without me. But I'm here now doing the changelog full time, and I'm excited about it because we got so many things in the pipe. And I think the easiest way to start off some of that would be to thank some people, because it's not, you know, this isn't the Grammys like it was last night, to put some timestamp to this. The Grammys was on last night. And you get people up there accepting awards, nothing like that. We're not accepting awards here, but there's some people to thank. And Jared, I'm going to put you at not so much the top of the list, but in the top two. There's top two people, and you're one of them because you've been encouraging me for a while and just coming on as the managing editor and co-hosting the show. And I mean, there's so much around the changelog. You don't even know how much Jared does around here. He's so awesome. And he's a full-time dad, and runs his own company, his own software company. And it's amazing to have your support. And then my wife, obviously, she's super awesome. Without her support, I would have never done this. So, you know, fellas out there who might be thinking about it, or ladies out there who are thinking about doing it, get your spouse's approval first. You know, long story short.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, so and I got that. So that was good. It was because of her support that I actually decided to take the leap and do it again. But the members of the changelog, so every one of you out there who are in the Slack room, and there's a new Slack room now that just remembers, and anyone who's supported the changelog over the years, you know, my heart goes out to you to thank you for what the future of the changelog will be. And it's, you know, in the coming weeks and months, you'll find that if you think the changelog is just a podcast or just an email or just a blog, we're going to show you that it's not. We have a lot of fun things in store. So the members have made that possible. And as well, the sponsors. We've got sponsors and partners who just absolutely love what we do in open source. And, you know, we love serving the open source community. Some partners that come to mind: CodeShip, TopTal, DigitalOcean, in no particular order. I'm just reading down the list here: MaxCDN, Ninefold, Nojitsu, PagerDuty, Pluralsight, Rackspace, RunScope, Scout, StatusPage.io. Love those guys over there. ThoughtWorks, Stunning, I mentioned TopTal already. Travis CI, VersionI, and a ton of others. Let's see, one other one that was good support as well. Code Climate, Balanced, and of course 5x5, Dan Benjamin and his team. We're on the 5x5 network. I mean, just so many people to thank. And I feel like rattling off record labels or something like that, but just a ton of people to thank in making the changelog possible. I mean, think about it, Jared, right? I mean, it is a podcast, but there's a lot of moving components, and you can attest to this. I mean, how many moving components do you think we have?
Define component.
I mean, you got the blog. You got
42. I don't know.
40, that's the magic number.
That's a magic number, and I don't have the answer. I'll just throw that one in there.
We got Trello boards. We got GitHub issues. We got all sorts of things that are in motion all the time that kind of require some attention and whatnot. And it's, we're going to have a conversation soon with DHH. And one of the things I want to talk to him about is this thing he's got an issue with, which is people getting paid full time to do open source. Like it's their full-time job to maintain an open source project.
Yeah.
And he has some, there's some things he has to say about that. I kind of feel a little bit of that burden because it's like, we couldn't really do this part-time project true justice unless somebody came on full-time to really do what we thought we could do with it.
Right.
We could probably keep limping along, as a side project. And it did well. And, there's nothing wrong with what we've done. But to get to where we want to go, it's going to require more commitment. More dedication, and just more focus. It's probably the easiest way to sum that up is focus.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the members because I think they're a big aspect of even, making it. I know you already thanked them for helping you be able to step away, but I think specifically over the next few months, I think the members will be benefiting from this, which they've made this possible. Of course, the sponsors as well. And what they're making possible is now going to be coming back to them in a bigger way.
Yeah.
Just because of your reinforced efforts at improving the membership experience. So maybe speak a little bit to that, tease if you can, or if you want to. And then let everybody know, who's not a member, why they should be a member and how they do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first benefit, so let me just summarize what the membership is. Think of it like, I guess most out there are hackers, so they don't really know Dribble well, but Dribble has this pro thing. And it's sort of this, lightweight, inexpensive way to support Dribble so they don't have to do things like ads and stuff like that. Well, one thing we thought about when we relaunched back in 2012, I believe it was, or 2013, 2 years ago, so that was 2013, was a way to bring, the people who are diehard Changelog fans, people who want to see us do good stuff, find a way to, one, directly support us, and two, get deeper into the mix. And this membership was born. It's $20 a year, so it's extremely inexpensive. Like it's like less than $2 a month. So like if it's like buying us coffee to make this podcast and email and everything we do possible and everything we're going to do possible. So it's like less than $2 a month, $20 a year. You get half off our t-shirt, and we got tons of awesome benefits from partners like we mentioned earlier, CodeShip, DigitalOcean, Rackspace. We've got specially negotiated discounts for our members that will save you $20 a year on a new DigitalOcean account, or getting CodeShip for like $2,000 less a year. It's really awesome features we've worked out with these partners who love us and want to give back to our members. So that's one thing that we're doing there. One of the newest benefits we've just launched, though, is the members-only Slack room. So we thought about making this open because realistically, I think that it would be awesome to talk to everybody who loves the Changelog. But then I thought it really makes sense to focus on the members because they're helping this initiative of me being full-time and sustainable, and eventually doing a lot more, like going to conferences and just being able to do a lot more that we will talk about in this show to give those benefits directly back to members. So we just opened up a members-only Slack room. Everybody who's a member got an email. Every new member, within the day, they get an email to them to invite them into that Slack room. And we're in there chatting about everything from open source to what's going on at the Changelog. It's like a behind-the-scenes look. So if you're not a member today and you want to enjoy awesome benefits like special discounts on DigitalOcean, CodeShip, and others, $20 a year, go to thechangelog.com/membership, or just go to the homepage, and in the sidebar, there's a navigation there that will get you there if you need to. But $20 a year, super easy. We use Stripe. We use industry standard, awesome ways to make charging you possible.
Yeah.
And it's just, we appreciate the support. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And now even more than ever,
Yes.
it's putting it's as close as you get to be putting food on this guy's plate, right? Because
wife, kids,
I was about to say,
like
I was about to say literally putting food on his plate, but that's just because we've bastardized the word literally in our society. But via a proxy of your cash, the money's going straight to supporting Adam and our efforts. So if you're not a member, why not?
We also have an audio editor for the podcast we have to pay every month. We have overhead.
Yep.
Even though we got lots of expenses every month.
Sure.
These mics we're speaking into, we're not cheap.
So you mentioned conferences. Let's talk a little bit more about that and a little bit about this video initiative, which is very fledgling at the moment. And
Yes.
We've kind of teased. What does your full-time mean for the conference scene, and what does it mean for video?
Okay. Well, we both have families. When I say we, I mean you and I.
Mm-hmm.
But even just me, I have a family as well. So going to 16 conferences a year isn't feasible. But we'd like to go to one a quarter. That's something that we think we can achieve.
Yep.
And when we go, we don't want to just go and be like, "Hey, everybody, how are you?" We want to come and do our best to sort of get a snapshot, to cover the scene, to talk to the people that are there, not just those who are known, but those who are, in quotes, unknown. The people that just make open source happen, make the developer community happen. People that are not the rock stars, so to speak. Just everybody, be a part of the community and show love to everyone. And one thing that we did most recently at Keep or Be Weird was we took our video camera, which was a Canon 6D, shooting HD video. We took our ring light. We took some gear. We took an awesome mic, a Rode NTG3. So for those who are audio geeks out there, you can go ahead and put your hands up in the air for that one, because the Rode NTG is an awesome shotgun mic. And we took all this gear and we went there and we shot this new video series we're producing called Beyond Code. And maybe, Jerry, we can pause there for a second, and if you've maybe you can shuffle some papers around and find the questions we asked, but maybe tease out some of the questions we've talked about. But we some amazing answers from some amazing developers. And to go back a second to what Jerry was saying was that working full-time at Pure Charity, working part-time at the Changelog, basically having a job and a half, having a wife, having family, having, things that balance out life. I just couldn't get to the video as much as I wanted to, even though I really, really wanted to. It was really, really tough to focus on all this stuff. So now that we're sustainable enough and I've stepped away, we can start focusing a lot more on that. So maybe you can mention a couple of the questions we asked.
Yeah, so we had a set of 7 questions. Well, the first one's say your name, so that one doesn't count too much. A few questions here. The old saw, who's your programming hero? Fans of the Changelog or fans of that question. What advice would you give yourself if you had to learn to program all over again? We asked people which open source project has had the largest impact on their life. What's the most exciting thing in software right now? Is there something else that you'd rather be doing? And then finally, because we're at Keep or Be Weird, we asked everybody to make a weird face for us. Yeah,
that was awesome, too.
So just questions that are focused on the people, a little bit on open source and what they find exciting. Had some great answers.
Yeah.
Super excited to get that video out there and let the people see it.
And a throwback to the members-only room is that we've been sharing some stuff like that, like what we're doing day-to-day, updates even, I shared some artwork we're using for promotions for the future openings up of Beyond Code. And, that's where we're going to start teasing out, things like that. We'd obviously like to share it on Twitter, but people start to say, when will this be out there and things like that. It's just, we like to share that with a closer, tighter knit group, and what better group to share it with than those who are supporting you. So that's why we have members. That's why we open up the members in the Slack room. We're in there all day long. So you have full access to those who are at the Changelog to answer your questions, to riff on open source, to mention a new project or whatever. So super excited about going full time and being able to do video and doing this mini series, I guess you'd say. So like each conference would be its own little mini series, maybe 10, maybe 12 people on. Yeah. And those questions are awesome questions. It was like a mixture of you and I coming up with those questions. Mostly you, somewhat me.
It was a mix.
Not much of me at all.
So we have a couple conferences that we're looking at: Space City JS this spring, OSCon or OSCon, if you will.
Yeah.
However the heck you say that. There's a conference in August that we got to look at, or Strange Loop perhaps. We'd like some more suggestions, someplace that y'all think we absolutely have to go. I know we've been advised that GopherCon, which is happening in Denver in July, is a must, which I think that'd be kind of a cool one. So because of that, we did open up a separate issue on Ping. This is Ping, our Ping repository on GitHub, github.com/thechangelog/ping, issue 129, where you can come in and tell us where we ought to be and take this roadshow.
Yeah.
We'd love to have your participation there as well.
Like I said, we'd like to do as many as one a quarter. So obviously we don't want to make it where we're choosing really on the greatness of it. But I think, one thing that's going to make it easier for us is when we start, whittling this list down to an actual list we want to go to, we'll start reaching out to the conference organizers, and having the organizer support at Keeper Be Weird was perfect for us because Schneems and the rest of the crew there, I mean, if it weren't for their support, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did with Beyond Code. So having the conference organizer support and sort of playing a part is going to be perfect for us. And so we'll need some time to flesh that out. And, obviously OSCon or OSCon, however you want to say it, may be a harder one because they're bigger.
Yeah.
But, we really enjoy the regional scene. It's been really great. We also want to kind of go more polyglot and be a little less focused on Ruby and JavaScript. We've been told that, throughout the history of the changelog is just be a bit more widespread. And we've given our own reasons and excuses for that. But localish if we can too, because the closer it is to us, like obviously we don't live in Europe, so going to a Europe conference is going to take a lot more logistics and costs to get there. So pretty hard to get those, but we don't want to not go there either. But maybe that'd be more like a year 2 goal. Year 1, focus on US based conferences. Year 2, kind of spread out and be able to go to Europe based or any other based conferences, because we'll have some experience under our belt doing a bit more travel.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say especially anybody out there who's a conference organizer and is excited about having the changelog come and shoot some video and be involved as a aspect of your conference, definitely reach out to us.
And when you see, I'm going to give you a teaser on this. When you see what we're going to do with Beyond Code, you're going to do backflips. You're going to do 150 push-ups. You're going to run a mile, and you're going to come back and say, oh, my Lord, that's awesome. I went you at my conference. So we're hoping to get lots of conferences support. We're hoping to have a list we can't even go to just because it's going to be that awesome. So I'm going to pump it up like that. What do you think, Jared? Is that some hype?
You lost me at 150.
150? How many can you do? 10? 15?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably squeeze 15 out of me, if you got enough on the line. Maybe I could do 15.
There you go.
That's, developers, I can type real fast, but push-ups, come on.
Push-ups.
Not for me.
I'll agree there.
All right, man. What else you got? Anything else?
So I think we probably talked a bit about this, but I think sustainability is great. Consistency. So if you've seen in the past, the changelog has kind of gone up and gone down a little bit in terms of its frequency. And I would say over the last 3 months, 4 months, we've been a lot more consistent.
Yep.
And that's really the name of the game for us, meaning the show, the weekly email. We just started that back up. We talked about how we started using Trello as a CMS. We'll link to that in the show notes for this show. That was paramount, too. So shout out to Trello for making that possible. And Jared, you're writing the Ruby code back to the API and pulling all that. I mean, that was phenomenal. It made it so much easier and fun. It made it, writing it and making it fun.
Yeah, we haven't missed an issue since we switched our publishing flow. So
and the list is growing. The issues are great. People are loving it. And just to kind of, if this is the first time you're hearing about the Changelog Weekly, it's a weekly email we ship on Saturdays that covers everything that hits our open source radar. It's highly editorialized. It's highly curated. So we're not just like throwing links in there and saying, enjoy them. We're really going in and finding the details and why you should read some of the things we're finding. We're not comprehensive across every niche and cranny of, or nook and cranny of open source. We're doing our best, but there's some real good stuff in there. And we do have some sponsors that fall in there. And we've found that even our sponsors have, our take on sponsorships for that are make them as native and relevant as possible. And so rather than just doing an ad for so-and-so and some sort of discount code, we're working with CodeShip and TopTal and Rackspace, and we're featuring particular blog posts in their archive of their blog, which are phenomenal blogs. Mm-hmm. And we're pulling out those great articles they have in their blogs and helping promote their blogs a bit more, because that's how you best get to know who they are as a company and trust them like we do. And so we've taken that unique approach towards advertising in Weekly as well. So it's not even just like, you won't see any jobs in there. We'll never, I mean, TopTal is is about getting hired and becoming an elite engineer, but you'll never see us do ever. And I mean capitalized. You'll never see us promote a job. We'll never do that again, ever. It's not cool. We're not recruiters.
Didn't we used to do that?
We used to promote GitHub jobs. We used to do that. It's just like, we were doing an ad on this podcast saying like, so-and-so's got a Java job or a JavaScript job or whatever, and talk about the details of what they expect from you. Like that was just like the lame days of the changelog. We're never doing that again. We'll never promote jobs. Just had to get that out there. But consistency.
You're on the hook now. So
we're never
ever.
going to do it. And I will say better ad spots in the podcast. Podcast in general, we've got Aaron on the team. Aaron Dowd, if you don't know him, the podcast dude. He's editing for us. I think he's been editing, 6 shows now for us, Jared?
Something like that, yeah.
So
mid-December.
Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job for us. Every new show is getting better. We're doing better with getting our ads done. And just in general, we're just improving the quality of everything we're doing. And we've been doing that before I went full-time. But now that we're here, we're going to do a lot more of that. And, Beyond Code, stay tuned for that. We may throw up a mailing list to announce it, but I would say the easiest to get subscribed to that would be just subscribe to Weekly, because we share everything that matters to us in Weekly, and that's really it.
We also have a little bit of different mailing list, a newsletter that we're working on nightly, which is kind of our nightly build, if you will.
Yes,
it's kind of we won't talk too much about it because we're going to be talking to it on an upcoming show. We're having Ilya. Is it Grigoric or Gregoric? That's my first question.
Ilya Gregoric.
Gregoric. So we're having Ilya on, who did the GitHub archive and had a nightly newsletter that he was sending out on all the hot, freshest, newest GitHub repos.
Yes.
He wound that down, and we'll talk more about it on the show. But needless to say, we're going to have a nightly email as well that we're pretty excited about for the hardest of the cores people.
The hardest of the cores. I like that.
There's the kind of people who get, GitHub Explore every morning, but that's just like not enough. And it's like, come on, man, give me some more. No, we got
Yes, this is like I really don't want to frame it like that, but to be honest, it's probably a good description. Is that it's the GitHub Explore plus, so to speak.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, it's like for those of you who read that and want more, this is what you subscribe to. Basically.
People like me, because I loved that newsletter. So
we got that as coming. The hottest repos on GitHub before they blow up is our tagline for that.
Yep. So that's in the pipeline as well.
And some unique things about that, like Jared said, we will talk to Ilya this Friday. So today is Monday. To date this, we're February 9th. And on Friday, the 13th this week, we're talking to Ilya. That show will actually air out on the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
So February 20th is when that show will be aired. We'll record it on the 13th. We'll be talking to Ilya about GitHub Archive, what started that project, and then I don't know what the state of it was, but long story short, we talked to Ilya about taking over that project, renaming it to Changelog Nightly.
Yeah.
And that show's all about that. So to tease that show out a bit. And one unique thing we're going to do to it is make it have a night theme. So I'm excited about that. Everyone we showed it to so far has been like, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who like well-designed, well-crafted emails that keep you up to date on the awesomest open source out there, Changelog Nightly.
I think it's a nice compliment to Weekly as well. So you have your once a week curated, like you put our thoughts into this, and then we have our nightly build, which is just like stuff coming out,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's a nice compliment. All right, man. I think that was pretty good coverage of your announcement. I'm super excited. I'm sure all of our listeners are super excited.
Yeah, it's our announcement. It's definitely it's mine, but it's ours. And it's ours for you. It's ours for the members. It's ours for the listeners. This is only going to get better for us. It's ours for my family. So like Jared said earlier, becoming a Changelog member isn't just supporting just the Changelog anymore. It's going much further than that, than directly supporting me and my family to be able to keep this show on the road, so to speak. So hearts out to you if you're a member. If you're not a member and you're on the fence about it, it's $20 a year. $20 a year is all it takes to help make sure that we stay around, keep doing what we're doing, and we have plans to do a lot more. And your support will only make that even more possible. So Changelog, it's thechangelog.com. I almost said our future potential URL. thechangelog.com/membership. Go there. You'll find out all you need to know. Yeah, man, that's it. So anything else we want to cover, Jared, before we say goodbye to everybody?
I don't think so.
No? Anything for you in particular? Nothing? Any personal note for you? How excited are you?
I'm super excited. Like I said, this has been something that I've been building to. I've wanted to see you go full time for a long time. I see a lot of potential in what we're doing, and just kind of like untapped because we just, like you said, we both have families. This is not something that I can do full time at the moment. I got a lot of other businesses going on, but the fact that we got somebody who's just doing Changelog like all day, every day means we can do a lot more stuff. We can do better, more better, more often.
More better, awesome. Faster, awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
I guess good way to close out would be to say that Jared was, my wife definitely was huge encouragement for it, but one of Jared's lists, like if you took a list and said this was Jared's checklist for the Changelog, number one, it was to just, I don't know what your first checklist was, but one of your biggest, most brightest, bold to-dos on your list for the Changelog was to get me to go full-time.
Yep.
And so I know for you, it's got to be a bit of personal gratitude to be just like, yeah, that's done. So you've definitely been a part of helping make sure that's possible. So without Jared's support, y'all, I would be a lost little puppy out here in this open source land. Long story short. So with that, we'll say goodbye. Thanks for tuning in for this special edition of the Changelog to kind of catch up on what's going on. We greatly appreciate your support. Changelog.com, changelog.com/memberships. Membership. Bye, y'all.
Bye.